Hi, Colleen.
Hey, Liam.
How are you doing?
I'm well. How about you?
I'm good. We are. No, you know what? I'm just gonna say while that song is going through, and do this next time you listen to it. Is I was singing the Super Mario's theme song in the background as it like over it, and it's like a whole other layer. It's like do 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 do
Like a
do do
mashup,
do do. Yeah.
right?
Anyway, yeah.
You're
So,
right. You're right. Now
yeah.
that you're doing the do. Yeah.
Anybody listening
Yeah.
probably at this point is rewinding to the
Yeah.
beginning so that they can listen to that
Saying, I
and
need to
sing the
know.
Mario. Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Awesome.
we are late getting this video together, and it's all my fault, isn't it? Liam took a vacation. That's the story
You
I
told me
heard
not
this
to
week.
use that anymore. You're like, you can't say that anymore. I'm like, well, it kind of happened.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So we're down to the 11th hour. It's still not in production, but it's on its way. Probably tomorrow.
It is. Yeah. It's
Maybe.
by tomorrow morning when faculty log in,
Yeah.
they'll have it. So hopefully we'll have this
Yeah.
up and posted and ready for them.
Yeah. So tomorrow being Friday, September
Friday, September
6th,
6th.
we expect this to be live and in production,
Mm.
at least at Georgian College,
Yes.
in our Blackboard environment. And if folks didn't watch our video,
Mhm.
this one, they're going to be maybe in for a bit of a surprise when they
I
log
agree.
in tomorrow. Just a little bit of a jolt.
Mhm.
And we'll explain all about that
Yes, we
because
will.
this week we are talking about the release notes for Ultra 3900.100. Ooh,
We're past. Yeah, we're into triple digits
centennial.
now.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, and this is our episode 13, which is my lucky number. So here we go. Yeah, so number 100, and this is the September back to school special, I guess, with
I
some
like that.
cool, exciting stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
thanks. I just kind of
Yep.
came up with it on the fly, of
Of course you did.
course. All right, so before we jump in, we always like to just kind of remind folks that this is, hey, we do our best, but as perfect as we try to be, sometimes things don't go the way you expect it to. So the feature availability is subject to change according to development progress. Some features may be rescheduled for later release, like what happened last month with the
Yes.
video. Video
Yep.
Studio was supposed to be August, and that got pushed back. I don't know why. It wasn't because we didn't know what we were talking about. It was just because they decided to push it back. So, yeah.
They had a
So
delay in their development process.
there you go.
Yep.
It's a lengthy process they go through that I won't pretend to really fully understand, but I know there's a whole lot of due diligence and then development and then testing, then releasing.
Mhm.
Oh, let's go with that. Okay. Last month we talked about our top 5. We had multiple release conditions was a new one. I've personally used that in my own class. I set up one rule to say I want students who have achieved, or sorry, I want everybody to see it on this date. But if students have completed a task early, that I would say, okay, then you should be able to see this early. And so that worked a charm. That was really nice. Improvements to creating assignments. Remember that that is creating the instructions page, and students would click on the start attempt button, and that would start the attempt. I did see, I'll just point out, there's been a little bit of chatter on the development side that if you had created your assignment prior, it did not automatically convert. So if you want it that way, you're just going to need to copy your instructions into a new assignment, and that'll do that. But that works well. The content designer has the enhanced documents. A lot of positive review about that. And if you watched that video last month, it was the 4 columns. Right now you can resize your items, and that continues to grow and is setting the stage for some exciting stuff in the enhanced documents area. That's yeah, there's that one. The video studio, that's the one we just alluded to, that the videos are you can directly record yourself or screen shares. And I feel like there was another one. Maybe it was a blend. I don't remember. But anyways, you can record your videos straight into Blackboard, and that was delayed, and we're just kind of waiting for that to finally roll out. And then the last of our top 5 was being able to hide the unenrolled students from Gradebook. If you had a student that was in your roster but has finished the course and was not unenrolled, then you could hide them from view. So those were our top 5 from last. That was the just before back to school. That's like we're doing all of our back to school shopping early back to school, and now it's like a week 1 of the semester, and so we've got some new goodies that we can talk about. I'm good. Oh, you know what? I forgot we were going to make this full screen. Oh well. I talked.
That's okay.
We'll just move on.
It's the best of intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the thought that counts, and I didn't think about it. Ha. All right, so honorable mentions. We had a hard time this week, picking just 5. So
Yeah.
we took our creative liberties and chose a few honorable mentions as well. So first off, here is the course content page enhancements. This is mostly aesthetic, really. So folks who have been in Blackboard, and if you've noticed, feeling things are a little bit blocky and rigid, the whole space has kind of gotten a bit of a facelift. Changes to the structure of the page. There's a little bit more of a curviness to like rounded edges on items, so it doesn't feel quite so sharp and cold. Presentation of top level and nested contents, all that stuff is changed. And I guess I'll drag this onto the screen since that's probably the easiest way to explain it. As I had said, you're probably in for a surprise when you come in. So this is what your Blackboard environment is now going to look like. You'll see here, actually, you know what? Why don't I just open this up and jump into, so I've got, this is production. This is what we have currently. And if I come into this course, you can see there's my banner. Here's where the course sidebar menu is. So this is current. Actually, let me just make sure we're at 100%. There we go. And this is, go to 100%. This is the test environment. This is what's coming overnight tonight. When you check yourself in, hopefully tomorrow you wake up and this will be in your stocking. Nice rounded corners on the banners there, but most dramatic is that that whole menu has been packaged up, shifted to the right-hand side, and even made a little bit thinner, right? So if I flip back and forth, you can see how much of the space, it's almost a third here, whereas this is more like a fifth, maybe a sixth of the entire page. So significantly more space here, and that's so that's what you'll see. I also like the way that this image doesn't go edge to edge.
Exactly. And I was going to say too, even below, like when you're looking at the modules before there, I like that there's that little difference, the subtlety behind the coloring, like the gradients, right? So it stands out, the modules stand out more. Before it was on that snow white background, and it really does start to, I was going to say it's kind of noise to your eyes. But this, I do. At first I was like, I'm not so sure. They were using this subtle word. They're using gradient. They were using, and now the more we look at it, like,
yeah, I'm going to jump in.
it.
Yeah. This is the student preview, just to take some of the configuration. You see there's your course assignments. Oh, there's nothing in that one. I don't think I have anything available for the students to show off in this situation. As opposed to if I jump into here, it's student preview. Here we are. There's our course. Here's our folder. And inside the folder, oops, wrong one. Wanted to hit this one. There you are. So I think it's a nice change, personally.
I think you fit more on the
That's how I
screen
feel.
this way too. In this display, it's
Yeah.
you don't have to scroll as much. So yeah,
Yeah. Excellent. All right. So that was just a little bit of a show off on our first honorable mention, and I promise we won't spend that long on the next two. But that one we did just feel like we should show as we tell.
yes.
Another honorable mention is student-facing submission review page for assignments. So now students are able to access their instructor feedback on a submission way easier for assignments, and that's coming for tests as well. And I think, yeah, right along the same theme is the students will continue to be able to access the feedback even if a piece of content is hidden by release conditions. In that situation, it will say that the content's not available, but they'll still be able to access their feedback. So those are the honorable mentions as we jump into our top five. So anything that you want to add on those there, Colleen, before we proceed?
No. I was just excited about the first one.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction for sure. All right, so jumping in, we've got our top five. The top five feature releases that we feel most greatly and directly impact the teaching and learning experience, especially here at Georgian College, but maybe other institutions too. Here we go. Number 5 is the student activity log. And we used to have something similar to what we're describing here in Blackboard Original. And now we've got the activity log available in Ultra. So you now have this, instructors have access to this report to see what the students have done in the course. It helps as it says here on the screen, it helps with decisions in academic disputes. If students are saying, oh, I tried to do such and such, you can see when they were logging in and saving their drafts. And you can also analyze course participation for students at risk. We did grab a screenshot from Blackboard, so this is an example. If you go into the students, click on a student where you would have been able to access grades and notes. Activity log is here, and you can see on screen all of the save points that the student has engaged in. So if we look down near the bottom here, the fundamental forces discussion board, they accessed it, they saved their draft, they saved their draft again, then they submitted their discussion response, then they edited it, then they edited it again. That word is tripping me up. Edited. I could get
Edited.
lost in the edited it. And then they went in and did a reply. And then quite some time later, they accessed the course physics as well. And then they started this assessment, and you can see that the trail is there. So, so this is here for you to check student engagement in your course.
And we were going to mention too that it's for assessments. For the access there in this list is only assessments. If you want to know if they just accessed, the content in the course, so they're rolling around and viewing it, it doesn't show up in this report.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for bringing that up, right? Because this is all just discussions, assessments, like tests, assignments, those sort of things will show up here. But yeah, it won't say, oh, they opened this folder and then they open that folder. Maybe that's coming. I'm not sure if the decision is let's leave that out. That's a lot of noise, or maybe they're planning on adding that in at a later date so that students can sorry, add that in at a later date so we can see when students get lost. So,
right.
All right. Let's go along here. Flexible grading. Number 4, we're going to view items that need grading and posting in the new overview. In this one here, there's an indicator added and a whole new tab. So when we go into gradebook, there's a new tab added. We're going to go through and see that here, that in that area, we now have this screen here that allows us to see what needs grading, We can also see what needs to be posted as well. I'm going to drag that in on screen. Just give me one moment here. So just drag this over here. And we are looking at the needs grading. So we're just going to go into gradebook. And right away, you see that there's this new tab called Overview. Obviously, this is a test environment, so I don't have any examples of to show you here, but all of the students' submissions that need grading will be here. Anything that needs posting will be here. And then you still have the gradable items, the grades, and the students' view as well. One thing I remember reading also, Colleen, is that this is organized with the oldest at the top. So the
Right.
first thing, the oldest thing, the one that's most pressing, should be
Yeah.
up at the top here for what needs grading, and same thing with the posting. So that's great. I think that's
Yeah. I
anything.
think
I don't
I
think.
like it because
Yeah.
it's like a dashboard, and we're so accustomed to dashboards now, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good way to keep things organized, but
Yeah.
also, like it said, flags it at the top for the instructors now, which is very helpful.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So that's this guy here. Let's move on to number 3, flexible grading. We have the exclude attempt when grading. So this is uh, kind of like a delete, but in between a delete and just giving somebody a new attempt. So if we open this up here, instructors can now select exclude attempt to remove it from the needs grading workflow without having to delete it. So you see that sometimes you have like multiple attempts and it's saying like, oh, you've got three more to grade. This will kind of avoid that workflow, kind of minimize that. So now it's important that does not mean that the students now get another chance. It just means, well, this one I don't. It's more, I wonder if ignore is maybe a better word to think of here. It's just that you're going to ignore it because that's what the grade book is going to do as well. So if a student has one attempt and you exclude their submission, you need to go in to give that student an exception and allow an additional attempt. Which now that I'm saying that would be a great idea exchange. That
Oh yeah.
when you do the exclude, say, would you like to allow an additional attempt? Ooh, write that down
Write it
before I
down.
forget. Additional attempt. And everybody can know this was the moment that was born.
Right.
Students can see their submissions and they'll also see a little notification saying that this one was excluded. Okay, so if you exclude the student's work, be prepared that they're going to be able to see that. This is what it looks like as far as where you go to do that. We're in the grading area. Come up to the 3 dots, this little kebab. Right where the delete attempt is, you now see exclude attempt. And you see the little bell with the line through it. It's just saying, like, we're not going to notify you that you have these things to grade. But the more that now that I've said that, I can just
Yep.
think like that would be such a good idea. Just like, oh, would
Mm-hmm.
you like to allow another attempt? Yes, I would. And then it would just take care of all of that at once. Ah, sometimes I tell you.
As the Grinch would say, brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah. All right. Oh, okay.
Mm,
You heard it here first. You heard it here
right.
first, folks. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That was number 3, right? Are we at
Yes.
number 3? Okay. Then let's move on to number 2. Oh, this is where it gets exciting. And
I know.
ooh, if we were gonna ever do a poll of like an A/B poll, this would be probably it. Number 1 and number 2 would be like showdown of September here as far as which
Mhm.
one is number 1. But we chose for our number 2 pick an AI conversation tool. So now you have in your course, once this releases live, access to the AI conversation. It is a Socratic
Mm,
questioning exercise guided by AI, which allows students to think critically about the topic that the instructor designs and asks the students to share their thoughts on the activity. The reflection question also lets students flag any bias or errors from the AI and help students understand. Oh, I love this point here, and I'm glad that this made it onto the slide, and helps students understand the responsible use of AI services, because AI is not perfect.
Yep.
It's artificially perfect, which means not. Instructors can configure a topic from the AI conversation and give it an AI persona, including a name and an avatar and a personality trait. Define a complexity level of responses, and they can also edit the reflection question, guiding the students on how best to reflect on this activity. Lots in here. You can see this is the example that that Blackboard has put together. Sarah Rainey, it just dawned on me, Rayney. It's like the weather, rainy. Somebody at
Mm-hmm.
Blackboard at
Mm-hmm.
Anthology thought they were being clever, and I
Yep.
agree. Kudos
Yep.
to you, whoever
And you
that
caught
was.
it. Well done.
Sarah Rainey. Not until I said it, because I've been reading the screen already. Is a meteorologist, Florida-based, lighthearted and supportive. Those are the character traits. And
Yep.
then the instructor has said, what's your current understanding of the impact of climate change on Florida's ecosystem? And you can see here is the chat that you've got here going on, that Sarah greeted them, asked to share their topics. The student responds, and then Sarah responds, and on and on and on it goes. And there is a reflection question option at the end. But instead of just showing you this screenshot, I think this is a fun one that maybe we'll play with. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Everybody's saying yes. All right. So we're going to go into our content area, and this will also show you how you can build this. Click the plus icon and go ahead and click create. And down here in participation and engagement, right under discussions and journals, you'll see AI conversation. That's in there. You, as the instructor, have the choice as to whether or not you're going to use this. The institution, Georgian College, we've decided, yes, we're going to, like, this is Blackboard's Anthology is very responsible in how they roll it out. So we put this together. Let's call this, what are we going to call this one? I don't know. Let's do, I'm trying to perform under pressure here. Space exploration. Oh, I'm inspired by this space dog there. We're going to give the students a prompt. I'm going to make this full screen so that you guys can see this a little bit clearer here. Let's say explore and discuss the, I don't know, settling on Mars. Totally flying by the seat of our pants here. So we'll keep the name Space Dog. You can define that. Let's change this image, give it a new one here. Oh, the seasoned traveler. There we go. Yes, this person knows a lot about space travel. He's been through it all. Save that image. There they are. And let's say this person is wise and what else? And seasoned and talks. I'm going to really push it. I don't know if it's going to succeed with what I'm about to do. Talks in allegories. Allegories often. Okay, let's leave it right around here. Hit save. And then you see here, there's a reflection question about in what ways did the conversation advance your understanding of the topic. And this is also, you can see there's points for both parts of this. Let's make this visible and close, and let's go into student preview and see what happens here. Hold on. Space exploration, let's go in, and we are going to start the attempt here. And here it is. Hi, my name is Space Dog. My responses are generated by AI and therefore may have biased or not be accurate. Please share your initial thoughts. And we are supposed to explore and discuss settling on Mars. So let's say I want to I don't know, consider if settling, oops, is a good idea for humanity. All right. May totally be thrown under the bus here, and I apologize, Anthology, if I've given it something that does a terrible job, but let's see what it does. We're going to hit send. And so Space Dog is thinking here in real time, what can the myths of explorers teach us about the challenges of venturing into the unknown like Mars? So you can see what it's done is it's not just given us an answer, but it's actually asked me to think back.
Thoughtful.
So what yeah, it's not just like, okay, here's my answer, copy paste it. Now I get to go through and think, well, uh, I think it says it suggests that it is dangerous,
And made of cheese.
made of cheese. Does
Isn't that a
that?
myth? Yeah.
Oh yeah, because of the moon.
Yeah, let's see.
In tales of yore, explorers often believed in fantastical lands. How might our preconceptions of Mars shape our approach to making it livable? So you can see, like, and now we're like, we probably should have come into this with a better, like a real example.
Yeah.
But you can see that it is engaging in a conversation. It's not just giving us other answers. It's not a research tool. It's us talking to this persona and engaging does ask a further reflection question, and we can respond there. I'm just going to submit and see what we do here, and close, and exit, and I'm going to save this data just so that we can see that as the instructor. So as the instructors here, I can see there is one submission by my preview user. Let's have a look, see. And look at this, we can see the whole
The whole
conversation that came
conversation.
through.
Yep.
Wow. And
Yep.
then the essay, that's the reflection question that followed up. And when we look at this, it's empty because I skipped it, right? But we
Right.
would have been able to see that. That's pretty nifty, if I
Wow.
do say so myself. Um, let's try one more.
Okay.
Let's do another one. And what do we want to do?
Do you notice when you're clicking to create a new one that the purple plus sign is on the left-hand side, not in the middle now?
You're right. It's there consistently, always over
Yeah,
there. That's great.
that's very cool.
Okay. Okay, I've got one. Living,
All right.
nope. Coaching for the first time, and this is going to be
Nice.
Ted
My
Lasso.
guy, Ted
How can we
Lasso.
how can we describe him? He's
Ted
positive.
is he's positive, he's empathetic, he's corny.
All right. And then what do we want the students to talk about here? Coaching for the first time. Let's gather wisdom from an experienced coach or a first time sport coach. Let's see what we get from that. Hit save, make that visible, and let's go into student preview. Oops, not that one. This one, start preview. And coaching for the first time, here we are, starting the attempt. Hi, my name is Ted Lasso, and I look like a space dog. You see the same sort of disclaimer reminding students this is AI, and we want to gather wisdom from an experienced coach for the first time sports coach. How do we start this? Let's start by saying, hi. I think that's a good start. Oops, except that's not how you spell nervous.
No.
There we go. How does it respond? What do you think are the most important qualities a head coach should have, and how do you plan to develop them? Well, empathy and encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
listening to, oops. Okay, let's see what we say here. And you can see as we're going through, like these are questions that I have to think about how I'm going to respond. And how do you think listening can shape the dynamics? And isn't that interesting, right? Like I'm nervous. Well, what do you think are the important qualities? Well, empathy and encouragement, I developed them by listening to my players. How do you think listening can shape the dynamics and success of your team this season? And it's pulling from what I said and then
Mhm.
giving me more. So anyways, I'll stop the demo here, but you can see as the student, it's pulling me into this conversation and asking me. It's not just giving me answers, it's kind of guiding me. And probably out there somewhere they're thinking, I have a way better example, and I would love to hear it if folks
Yeah.
have one, because I think that that would be great to be able to see this go. So as far as cool stuff goes, I would say that this was going to be my number one pick, right?
Right.
Like I think that this is something that is right front line sort of changing for the way we can develop our courses. But we didn't make this our top pick, did we?
No, we did not.
No, we did not. Instead, we have our number one pick. That was a long time on number one, and I apologize for folks if you don't care for it, but here we go. Number one is the content designer has integrated knowledge checks in the documents. This is, I think, exciting, not just because, and so this one beat out the other. We called this one number one because this is something that I think we could throw into our courses immediately,
Yes.
and see a direct use for it. So, content designer now has these knowledge checks. They allow students to engage with the content and receive immediate feedback. Instructors are also empowered to, with valuable insights, to tailor their teaching because you can see the results on this stuff.
Mhm.
You can use multiple choice, um, multiple answers, questions, I think true false as well, and provide pre-populated correct and incorrect answer feedbacks that the instructors can edit. You also see the metrics to see how students are doing. Students can select an answer and submit. They get immediate feedback, and there are unlimited attempts with those knowledge checks. So as students are engaging in the content, they get to see these questions pop up. And so here's an example. I like that the release notes had the animation because here it is. This is right inside a piece of content where they have text up above, an image here asking the question, students are giving their answer. And if they get it incorrect, please try again. Okay, we're going to try again. We're going to select this answer. How about that? Perfect. That's the correct answer. And then what I think is going to happen is that this is going to become a an adaptive release piece. I think I
Mhm.
see a lot of underlying
Yep.
groundwork that says you can now go ahead onto the next item if you've got this one answered correctly. So
Yep.
kind of keeps your learners moving along.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, and it's a good
yeah,
support for students, right? I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
everyone learns in different ways, and some people, this is a very valuable tool to have that's in the
Hmm.
course that allows them, to feel confident as they progress.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, So that is our top pick. Would be the integrated knowledge checks. They are available right into your course. Let me just drag this back on screen again for us. Here we are. And I'll just create a quick document. You notice also, I know you pointed out that the plus is there, but I can click on anywhere on that line.
Ah,
Click create. I'm going to click create a document and create some content. You know what I'm going to do is just grab some text from this guy,
good idea.
copy that. Thanks, Anthology. Paste it there. And there you go. So there's my text, and I'm going to click the plus, and you see right here, knowledge check. Let's go ahead, do that. And you can add in questions one at a time. So we can say, um, well, we can ask any question. And this is the same sort of question answer. So um, I don't remember what content I got to ask a smart question. So knowledge checks are, oops, available where? And let's say, oh, it does look like it's multiple choice, multiple answer. I don't see a true false option
No.
here. So documents, tests, assignments, and there we go. This is the correct answer. And you can edit the feedback if you want to. Click save. And so now there it is, sitting right there. And oh, let's show off what we can do from
It's right.
last, right?
So great.
And just drag this up to here. There we are. And let's hit save, make that visible to students, close, student preview, start preview. And there's our new document right there. You can see there's the instructional design content. That's the text that we used. Here's our knowledge check. And we're going to say, oh, how about this one? Submit. And it's going to say, nope, that's not correct. Try again. Sure. There we are. Submit. Hey, that's correct. And as you see, there's the text that was automatically loaded. We could have made a whole paragraph of extra content and just an explanation here. Pretty slick. Okay. Oh, and I guess we could also, as the instructor, come in here, look at the, I thought I saw it. Oh, look, there it is. There's the knowledge check results. 0 of 11 students finished that correctly because I don't think I saved my data. And so this is a hard question. And so you can see where you're stumping your students, right? I think that's really, really quite clever. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And I think that wraps us up for our top 5. So this is, that is the 3900.100 LMS review for Ultra. This is the September release. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff, I think, in this one. And I'm excited to see how this shapes people's courses. Let us know if you're following along and you feel so inclined. Comment in the comments below. Let us know what you found exciting and what you're excited to apply into your course. Where maybe if you've got a better example, or if you've tried this once this is released, the AI conversation would be interesting to see how people are using that one. So yeah, comment below. If you haven't already, please give us a subscribe, like our video, share it with others so that they know what's happening in Ultra. This LMS is growing and evolving over each semester, each month, and we're trying to keep everybody up to date. So share this with your peers. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I'm gonna do a little shout out
at
the end that I like to do for our Georgian community is just a reminder for our drop-in sessions for support. Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 1:30 and Thursday and Friday at 10:30. And you can find that link in your Blackboard calendar.
Awesome. Cool. Next video should be we're starting a new series, and we're not gonna give any more of a teaser, but it's gonna be a fun little bit. So have a great day, everybody. We'll see you on campus probably. Okay, take care.